Hello, my name is Stephen Boxer and I'm an actor and I'm doing a reading on behalf of the National Brain Appeal Emergency Fund for the NHS. And I've chosen for the reading a section of this book by a man called Thomas Hobbes, who was an English 17th century philosopher. And it's called The Life of Man, Solitary, Poor, Nasty, Brutish and Short, which sounds a pretty grim title, but actually I think it's a bit of a gem. I had the good fortune to play Thomas Hobbes in a play at the Royal Shakespeare Company about 10 years ago. And I found him a fascinating character. And we played at Wilton's Music Hall in the East End, a beautiful old theatre. What's quite interesting about this passage is there are one or two phrases which you may come to recognise, and their source was in this book. And they've now become part of English common parlance. Anyway, here we go. Thomas Hobbes. Of speech. The invention of printing, though ingenious, compared with the invention of letters, is no great matter. But who was the first that found the use of letters is not known. He that first brought them into Greece, men say, was Cadmus, the son of Agenor, king of Phoenicia, a profitable invention for continuing the memory of time past, and the conjunction of mankind dispersed into so many and distant regions of the earth, and withal difficult, as proceeding from a watchful observation of the diverse motions of the tongue, palate, lips, and other organs of speech, whereby to make as many differences of characters to remember them. But the most noble and profitable invention of all other was that of speech, consisting of names or appellations and their connection, whereby men register their thoughts, recall them when they are past, and also declare them one to another for mutual utility and conversation, without which there had been amongst men neither commonwealth, nor society, nor contract, nor peace, no more than amongst lions, bears, and wolves. The first author of speech was God himself, that instructed Adam how to name such creatures as he presented to his sight. For the scripture goeth no further in this matter, but this was sufficient to direct him to add more names as the experience and use of the creatures should give him occasion, and to join them in such manner by degrees as to make himself understood. And so by succession of time so much language might be gotten as he had found use for, though not so copious as an orator or philosopher has need of. For I do not find anything in the scripture out of which directly or by consequence can be gathered that Adam was taught the names of all figures, numbers, measures, colours, sounds, fancies, relations, much less the names of words and speech, as general, special, affirmative, negative, interrogative, optative, infinitive, all of which are useful, and least of all of entity, intentionality, quiddity, and other insignificant words of the school. But all this language gotten and augmented by Adam and his posterity was again lost at the Tower of Babel, when by the hand of God every man was stricken for his rebellion with an oblivion of his former language. And being hereby forced to disperse themselves into several parts of the world, it must needs be that the diversity of tongues that now is proceeded by degrees from them in such manner as need, the mother of all inventions, taught them, and in tract of time grew everywhere more copious.